Here at NewsNation, we hit the road to find out for ourselves. We start in Arizona and an issue that still lingers from the 2020 election integrity. It's a topic Democrats and Republicans are campaigning on in Arizona. It's a state that faced numerous accusations in the 2020 election. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton joins us live. And Brian, people there are still concerned about this.
Yeah, they absolutely are, Nicole. You mentioned it. We are going across the country talking to voters as part of this series, having real, open, honest, respectful conversations with voters about things that matter to them. And here in Arizona, election integrity, it is a big topic. It has been a big part of the midterms because the candidates, both for governor and Senate, have made it big parts of their campaign. And despite there being no evidence of widespread election fraud, we found talking to people here that it is something they are very much concerned about.
I believe that we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot steal it or rig it.
Again at a rally this weekend, former President Trump questioned election integrity. And if there's one place that is at the forefront of the midterms, it's Arizona, with Republican candidates for governor and Senate basing much of their campaigns on questioning the 2020 election results. Sometimes it's easier to talk to voters and get their real opinions when they're relaxed. So we hit the town in Phoenix Saturday night.
Some of the candidates here are running saying that the election was basically rigged in 2020.
Ultimately, I don't think that it was completely rigged. I think that there was, there might have been some mishappenings that went on. I don't believe in Q and all that, but I do believe in a deep state. I do believe in corruption.
Despite no evidence of widespread election fraud, many of the people I talked to were suspicious and said it's a reason they support Trump-backed candidates. Others, not so much.
Why do you think it comes up so much?
I think it goes back to the Donald Trump thing. And so, he says something, and then whoever his support group or followers are, they'll parrot the same thing, and it's just something that's said, not necessarily something that's supported by evidence.
At this Scottsdale bar, I met Yvonne Drew. She told me she moved to Arizona from California to escape COVID lockdowns.
Hey, nice to see you again. Thank you so much for having me.
Sober this time.
We met up at her apartment the next day to talk more.
The first thing I noticed when I walked in here was the Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, when I started supporting him, I thought, okay, first, I didn't like him. I thought, he's a misogynist. Everybody, I'd seen some, TV news about him. And then I thought, okay, what's worse? Let's not go with personality. Let me see action.
Yvonne says she always voted for Democrats in the past, but is now a diehard Trump supporter.
So interesting that you voted for Hillary and Obama.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I didn't wake up until I always think that there's a positive in every negative, and like COVID, where we had the lockdowns, that's the only reason I'm involved now.
Yvonne acknowledges there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud that she's seen, but she still has questions and says election security is a top concern of hers.
It took so many days on this primary to count those votes, and I just thought something is not right here. Already you feel the anxiety over that. And so I feel like they may cheat because there's so many ways to do that.
And what was so interesting talking to people over the last several days here in Arizona is beyond just questioning the elections, Nicole, there are so many people here we spoke to who just have a mistrust of the government in general, both sides of the aisle. They don't trust anyone, which they say is one reason they still believe in Donald Trump, because they still view him as a political outsider. Nicole?
Yeah, so even though there may be a lack of evidence, it doesn't stop the real issue that, a lot of people really do have this mistrust. Brian, where are you heading next?
Next, we are going to Nevada. We're going to be busy the next 2 weeks. We got Nevada, then we'll be in Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. And again, we're just so looking forward to having these open, honest conversations, not being judgmental with people, because people should be open to sharing the issues that really matter to them.
Yep, if we don't talk about things, you can never solve anything. Okay. Brian, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.